Welcome to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Stu, Rich and Mike Wood here to take you through, well, it's another Group 1 meeting at Randwick. What a win last week by Haraki. That was seen to superimpose back in the day.
That was a massive win. The sectional from the 200 metres was a huge sectional. O'Shea taken by surprise. Everyone taken by surprise. A massive Group 1 win.
It was huge, wasn't it? I love being there. That's what we like to see. It's Group 1 action this week. But look, before we get to that, it's been a real windy week in Sydney, a lot of drying conditions, and take us through how the track's going to play this weekend.
Well, yeah, the race conditions are so important for us on the Key Factors, so we always start with them for the overall day. Starting off at 12:15, a little bit later. It's daylight saving, obviously, now. Good dry conditions at Randwick on Saturday, really important. They've watered the track a bit on Thursday morning, but it should be firm come Saturday afternoon. The rail's out 6 metres, and after they water the track, sometimes there can be a knee rails or near pace bias, so watch out for that.
And look, the footy finals are over. Winx is in Melbourne, but we've still got some Group 1 action in Sydney. Before we rip into the quaddie, anything else taking the boys' fancy this week in the first 5 races?
Well, yeah, some great racing, the first few races on the card. The Tab Highway, once again, a massive field. One race to look out for, a couple of tips in the race 3, I think, More to Gain from out the back, and Balmain Boy from on pace. Both 4-year-olds on the rise. One of them will win, we think.
Balmain Boy sticks on really well.
Yep, he's a tough grey for sure.
Well, look, let's rip into it. The first leg of the quaddie is the hashtag races October Handicap over the 1400 metres. Getting the hashtag out, that's what the ATC were doing there last week. Plenty of great promotions at Randwick. Bit of a story in this race. We've got 9 horses lining up and a few fresh on the scene as well, Mike.
Yeah, a lot of fresh horses this time of year, which is just their classy types coming back in the spring. It's a good old-fashioned handicap over 1400 metres, not a group race to kick off the quaddie. Good 3 we talked about, maybe a little bit of bias we talked about to keep your eye on, but hopefully it's fair. And we think there's a fair tempo with Burning Passion coming on the pace from out wide. So across the 3 key factors for the first leg of the quaddie, baselines conditions, a good dry track. We've talked about this a lot in the spring, which horses prefer the dry conditions coming into the spring. Distance, 1400 metres, which horses rate on top. And fitness is an interesting one. With all those fresh horses, we need to pick which one might be fit on Saturday. Well,
fitness is probably the key here to the market as well. We've got a few of the fit horses there on top, and a few, like we said before, first up, there's going to be a real matter of fitness. So Handfast is on top at $3.50. We've got Burning Passion, well back both starts this prep at $4.60 and behind. His Majesty, or booming finish on him, a big swooper. God's in Him, one of the fresh horses at $6. Religify loves it on pace, loves a good track as well. And then Falkenberg coming back from a Brisbane winter, so another one of those fresh horses there.
Well, yeah, lots of good form lines there, and the fresh form lines are the ones we're going to have to play in. But let's see if we can tie in a couple of these horses and look to see if there's any tied-in form lines we can look at looking back into history. So a few months ago, there were 2 of these horses did race each other. Religify is in the lead here, and God's in Him coming to the outside with the black cap, Stu.
Yeah, that's Religify in front doing his thing in the green and white, but yeah, it's God's in Him in the black coming out wide. Now look, what we like to see, this is Religify really picking up, lifting late over a distance that, well, did it suit him?
Yeah, he loves his distance, but he was fit this day. God's in Him wasn't fit. He was first up. Last time he was first up, and he didn't hit the line there, did he? He kind of peaked on his run.
Yeah, definitely did. And we're going to go from that there back to another race, a bit more recent, with His Majesty and a few others involved at Rose Hill.
Yes, we can line up another 2 horses in this race, in a more recent race here. This time it's Handfast and His Majesty. Handfast out the back in the Godolphin blue, and His Majesty, he's the big grey on the inside, isn't he, Stu?
Yeah, we really love to see him charging late, and that's exactly what he did here. That's Gay Waterhouse's runner out in front, absolutely, well, setting a cracking pace, and these guys love working home.
Well, yeah, it's actually Bjorn Bakers and Koch Stonati there, but yeah, setting a cracking pace, like you said. His Majesty and Handfast both have a genuine turn of foot, something that's talked about a lot in racing, but these 2 horses, yeah, do have a genuine turn of foot, like we said.
Well, a bit of distance interesting there, and the fitness as well. They're going to be across the key factor ratings.
Yeah, so let's look at the overall detailed key factor ratings to look at this race, and straight away you can see from a good track perspective, it's a big risk for Burning Passion. He's been relishing the winter tracks. James Cummings been keeping him fresh, but back on the dry is a risk for him. Religify loves it dry. Most of the favourites love the distance as well. Look at all those gold bars for distance. The question is fitness. There's a few fit horses there. We won't know till we see the mounting yard, but first up for God's in Him and Religify over the 1400 metres, fitness has to be a risk.
Plenty of gold bars there. That's always good to see when we have a look at that. Now let's use those replays and also the key factor ratings to have a look at the overall ratings. And well, look, we've got 2 here on top, Handfast and His Majesty, with a bit of a gap in behind to Burning Passion down the bottom there. And why is Burning Passion so far down? No love for Burning Passion from the team.
No love at all for Burning Passion because of the wet track start we talked about. So he's obviously not the best bet. The best bet was choosing between those 2 top raiders, and the ratings have done it for us once again, and then the odds have done it for us once again. His Majesty is equally on top. He's a fantastic odds. He will firm on Saturday, we think. 1400 metres on a dry track. He's the fit horse, so His Majesty is the best bet for us. Clearly the best bet at those odds. And also Quinella probably is the value bet. So His Majesty and Handfast, both equal top raters, both really fit, both have a turn of foot. The dry track's perfect for them on Saturday.
That sounds like from real confidence from the analyst team there.
Well, unless those horses shine in the yard, they're the two for us.
Well, there's a look at race one of the quaddy legs this weekend. We're going to look to the second leg, and it's onto the Spring Champion Stakes. It's a bit of a time-honoured race, isn't it? Up in distance to the 2,000 metres, and look, plenty of mower going down by this time, no doubt. Recent winners, Vanbrugh, Complacent, It's a Done Deal, all coming through the gloaming stakes, so a real form line there, and no filly to ever in the race as well.
No, that's a massive stat, isn't it? The fillies, not too many take on this race, so it's a huge stat to look out for Yankee Rose. Looking at the race conditions quickly, a 2,000 metre classic for the 3-year-olds. We think it should be a fair tempo, but it might be steady. There's a few with winkers and blinkers on, so look forward for any riding announcements there. The key factors based on those conditions, position and run. Because of the potential bias, because of the firm track, you want to get the right spot in this race on Saturday. Distance has to be a key factor, and scope, like we keep saying, look for those horses on the rise in these 3-year-old races.
Well, it's going to be a real matter of having a look at that gloaming, isn't it? 2 Forgive runs, and based on last week, the punters have got to decide, is Yankee Rose back? But already some strong money there today on Thursday. Yankee Rose in from 260 to 250. Prized Icon, heavy consistent there, 360. We've got Swear. Now, Swear was one of the favourites there in the gloaming, so he's eased a bit from that. And High Mist, another one that's really been pushed out in the market. And how about this one? Veladero and Honeywine, they're the two that filled the Quinella, and they're the two out past $10.
Well, when you look at your form guide for the first time, you'll be surprised, won't you, that they're the odds and they won the most recent race. So let's look at this most recent race and find out why they are those odds. This is almost all the horses come through this race into the Spring Champion on Saturday, but Veladero is the one in the lead. The thing about this race, there was a steady tempo. They backed it off just before the turn. There was a near pace bias and a near rails bias, and there were some big runs despite that, Stu.
Yeah, you really just got to look here to see Prized Icon and Swear both going for that same run. Prized Icon gets through now, but what do you say about Swear's run?
Yeah, Prized Icon in the red, Swear in the orange, both really good on the wrong part of the track, with the bias against, with the tempo against. But obviously the Tab boys know that because the odds are pretty short as well. Yeah,
they have done a market reversal there on the last run, and that's what we're going to look at now. We're going to have a look at Prized Icon. We're going to go back to the autumn, and well, what a win this was. Up on the pace, and he just said, see you later.
Well, yeah, we showed this run a few weeks ago, and you've got to show it again because this is the best example of any horse in this race of how strong and how much stamina they've got. This is Prized Icon as a 2-year-old, up on the pace, up on a strong tempo, and about now, like we said last time, you think he might lie down, Stu.
No, that is one thing he did not do. That is him out here in front and really lifts late here, and that's a good win.
Yeah, he's a really robust type from the James Cummings stable. Lots of stamina. That's a great win.
There's a few position and run factors there from the gloaming, which let's hope aren't going to happen this weekend. Let's have a look at position and run as a key factor here.
Well, yeah, hopefully Prized Icon doesn't have any bad luck again. The position run, he gets a gold bar. He got a gold bar last time, I think, but Blake Sheen ran up some dead ends there. Glenn Schofield, the new jockey, hopefully can get him into the right spot. Near pace with that firm track, it's a great spot for Prized Icon to be. Veladero once again and Honeywine do draw well though. Watch out for that. From a distance perspective, we've got to give the gold bar to Prized Icon too. We saw how strong he was in that Group 1. And from scope, like we said last time, Swear's only had 3 starts. He could still jump out of the ground. Yeah,
massively on the way up, that's for sure. And as we look ahead, I mean, that's a factor that we've got to take into consideration. But let's go back to the top. We've got to decide on Yankee Rose. Is she back? Is she back to full strength? The rating says she is. Yankee Rose on top at 12. Prized Icon in behind at 11.5. Swear, 3 runs. You've got to give him the credit there. High Mist as well. So, look, it is Yankee Rose on top. But, Mike, the 2,000 metres.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's still a question mark for us. She is right up there at the top with Prized Icon, and there's only 3 chances in the race for us, so you've got to choose between those 3 horses for the best bet. There wasn't much margin between them. Prized Icon, we saw how strong he was. Let's make him the best bet. He's on pace. He's got the strength and stamina. Very hard to go past each way. The fact that he's each way odds is amazing because he'll definitely be up there in the top 3. And do a Quinella as well. Prized Icon to run really well from Yankee Rose or Swear to get up alongside him.
3 key chances there from the team, and Prized Icon on top. There's a look at the first 2 races for the quaddie this weekend at Randwick. We'll just take a quick break and we'll be back with legs 3 and 4. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by theraceguide.com.au. Third leg of the quaddie this weekend. It's the Yanks over the mile, Mike, and the mares. This time of year, are we looking to keep them on going, or are we looking to put them in the barn?
Well, yeah, I think some of the horses maybe should be in the barn this time of year. The quality rises to the top in spring. Let's look at the Yank Stakes. And it might be a good race to have a bet in, despite being a mares race. Group 3, over the mile, good track. Maybe a steady tempo. It could be tricking this race on Saturday, so watch out for that. Not a lot of tempo engaged. Look for horses that can go forward. So the 3 key factors, position run's got to be a key factor, like we just said. A few tempo tricks in this race, the good track, which of these horses prefer the firm conditions, and weight. It's a set weights event, so the classier types are well on top.
Look, form lines are coming from everywhere. One of Ronnie Duffy's favourites is Dixie Blossoms. I know it's one of yours as well. So, look, really form coming from everywhere, and that's the story of the market. But dominating the top three here, we've got Dixie Blossoms at 360. We've got Extensible, oh so reliable she is, at 360. Lady LaFay, well, another one, a big push from 460 today. And then, right, look at that, right out the door to Happy Hannah at $12. So the market really has this as a three-horse race, Mike.
Yep, there's a massive gap between third and fourth there, isn't there? So we've got to choose two replays, and there's three horses. Let's choose two of them to have a look at. Extensible first up, last start at Rose Hill. Look, there was a lot of money for her this day, Stu, and she's just coming to the outside now. Yeah,
look, I love the way that she just let Bull Rush get along here in the lead, but what she does best, chase, 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 and that's her starting to do it right now in the yellow.
Yeah, it was a really strong win. It rated really well. Dixie Blossoms raced on the same day. They both posted similar times. So from a form perspective, it's quite difficult to differentiate between them, but both really strong runs. Dixie Blossoms came second earlier on to Tycoon Tara.
Yeah, that's a really good win, and we're going to have one. You look at one you just mentioned there, Dixie Blossoms, but we're going to take you back to March in the Keith Nolan Classic down at Kembla, over the mile. And Mike, take us through this one.
Well, Dixie Blossoms, yeah, coming to the outside in the pink and white. We didn't know how good this Group 3 was that day. We didn't know how good Single Gaze was, but Single Gaze is the one hitting the lead. Dixie Blossoms is chasing after it. He didn't think it was a great race, but the form turned out great, Stu.
That's right. Single Gaze went on after this to win the Group 1 Vinery next start. So, yeah, fantastic form lines, and again, another one that didn't give up here as well.
Yeah, she picks up and she chases. Two good qualities for a horse over the mile. So Dixie Blossoms, you know, really looking forward to getting back to that mile, which she gets on Saturday.
And a little bit of position and run is going to be a key factor as always this week.
Well, this is really interesting because it's not really the gold bar for position and run. It's almost the low ratings you've got to look at here. Rocket Commander gets a great run from the inside, but the low ratings for position and run, Extensible, drawn wide. Lady LaFay, a super that gets back on the inside. She could get stuck. Happy Hannah, always slow to begin. And Zanbar, also drawn wide. So lots of horses with risks on position and run. Dixie Blossoms has got tactical speed, and she's really well weighted on Saturday.
That's really interesting to see. You've got to love seeing that. It might not always be position in run, but a few other factors in there before.
Absolutely, yeah.
So look, the Tabs guys have got it at 3 in the market. How are we going to play it this week? I've been waiting to have a look at this. Well, there it is. Dixie Blossoms at 12. We've got Extensible at 11, Lady LaFay 11. So we really do have it on top, as do the bookies.
Well, let's move straight to the best bet. This is pretty simple. It's a three-horse race. We've done the analysis. We've done the key factors. We had to choose one, and we chose one. Dixie Blossoms for us. She's Ronnie's favourite. She's our favourite. This on Saturday. The Randwick mile will be perfect for her. She can go forward if she wants, and she'll be really hard to beat.
More confidence there in the leg 3 of the quaddie.
Yep.
Well, maybe not so much confidence in the last leg. It is the Census Dash over 1,200 metres and another potential quaddie killer in race 9. But as if the programming in the last few weeks, the guys in the Tab have left us with a good one.
Yeah, they always do this to us, don't they? They sort of stick the hardest race last. But let's have a look at it. It's going to be a really closely matched benchmark 85. A good track, fair tempo, hopefully. And watch out for a little bit of bias, particularly towards the end of the day. It could get a bit firm and a bit near pace in terms of bias. So looking across the three key factors based on those conditions, position and run, we just talked about the bias, the tempo, etc. You need to get on the right spot. And because it's a real sprint race, 1,200 metres on a dry track, you want a horse with a turn of foot, so sprint's one for us. And stage of preparation, which horses are ready to run their peak.
Well, it's going to be interesting in the mounting yard. I know the Snowdens have got 3 runners in this with absolutely plenty of owners, just shy of 40, I think. And then you've got Michael Byers and Robert Willis, the owner-breeder combination of tail event as well. But look, let's have a look at the market. And it is Rock for the Ladies in suspense, both on top, $5.50 and $5.50 each. Brigadoon Rise, $6 with Dixie Chick. Denper at $7, Liami Astray $9.50, tail event $10, Top Me Up $13. This is wide open, this is stacked.
This is a really open field. And there's 3 horses that ran in the same race last start, so we've got to have a look at that. That gets a few of them out of the way, obviously. You talked about lots of owners. There was a big cheer for Denper here first up. She's out the back with the red with the white cap. Brigadoon Rise on the inside with the red. And Wonderbolt, red and yellow, but Denper out wide here, Stu, a good run.
Yeah, what we didn't see was Blake Shin on the rail last in this run, and he just let them go and came to the outside and really let it rip for this.
There was a ridiculously strong tempo in this race, and Blake Shin kind of knew it halfway through, didn't he? He just let her ride, brought her to the outside and surged late. She wasn't accelerating there, she was actually slowing down. That's how hard the leaders went.
We've got another one to show you here. It's a Queensland one. We're going to give you a look at the Queenslander tail event, and Eagle Farm almost ran a lot of ride races, and take us through this one.
Well, yeah, Jeff Lloyd sort of looking to his inside, trying to keep the grey locked up, and he was 3 wide all the way this day tail event. He's a really, really tough horse. He was 3 wide almost the last 3 starts as well, and unfortunately couldn't keep that grey horse locked up because the grey horse got him in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, look, just getting through there. I'm not sure. I don't know what Jeff Lloyd was thinking there, but he's ready to go. It's a bit of value here.
Well, your tail event's a really tough horse, and it's 3 wide every single time, and he's drawn better for the first time in a long time.
Well, it's drawing better. That's also going to help position and run. But stage of preparation here is probably a big one for the key factors.
Yeah, from a position and run perspective first, Brigid and Rise drawn to get the inside. She's got tactical speed, gold bar for that. Tail event, like we said, drawn much better on Saturday. From a sprint perspective, you can go through this race and look for the really genuine sprinters with lots of speed. Suspense has to be up there, but Rock for the Ladies has a fantastic turn of foot, a really genuine turn of foot that he'll show on Saturday. And stage of preparation, Rock for the Ladies is good first up, and Suspense is good second up.
Such an open market. I'm really thinking that we're going to have such a stacked field in our ratings, and as we look across, that's exactly what we've got. We've got Rock for the Ladies, we've got Brigadoon Rise. It's a very stacked field. How are we going to choose the winner here?
Absolutely stacked field. Just bring up those overall ratings now, and you can see that 11.5, 11.5, and not much between them. So, getting the right price is what this is all about on Saturday. So we're going to look for ones that are the right price, and for us, the best bet, I think it just came up on the screen before, maybe is Rock for the Ladies. Because of that sprint, looking for really genuine 1200 metre sprinters, Rock for the Ladies has that really good turn of foot, which is really going to help him win on Saturday. And the Queenslander, great value bet each way. He's so tough.
Yeah, just saw it absolutely rocket up the ratings there too, up into 4th or 5th. So that's a really interesting way to play the last. And as we have a round up the quaddie, well, we've gone pretty solid early. There's a few good bets in there, and I guess left the last race pretty wide open.
Yeah, 3 legs of confidence, 1 leg of who knows. So we'll go through them now. Handfast and His Majesty, the fit horses. Unless one of the other horses shine in the yard, they're the 2 for us. Looking across to race 7, there's 3 chances. They're all cracking horses. Stick them all in your quaddie. Across to race 8, 3 key chances once again, but we've chosen 2 of them, Dixie Blossoms and Lady LaFay, especially if it's not too firm for Lady LaFay. And race 9, loads of chances, and we've even stuck in Lunar Rise at massive odds too.
Oh, that's what you need to round out the quaddie, and who knows, there's some great horses there on Saturday. Well, look, if you're heading out to Randwick, or if it's Caulfield down in Melbourne, you're going to have a great day out. It's from us, the team. It's been a big week. We've also got some Caulfield race guides this weekend for the 1,000 guineas and for the Caulfield guineas. So head to the raceguide.com.au for all that information for Melbourne and everything, as always, for Randwick. Good punting this weekend.